How's it going today? Welcome back to another flipping and money-making live stream on this lovely, lovely Wednesday evening. Now, guys, I hope you're looking forward to it today because I know I am. We're already halfway through the week, which seems a little bit crazy to me. This week has just been flying by so far, so super happy about that. Anyway, as we get into the flipping here today, we are working with 1,648,000,000 GP today. We're going to see if we can flip it up, and we'll probably end with a 1,650,000,000 cash stack. Hopefully, fingers crossed, in today's session. That's definitely going to be our goal going forward here. Anyway, guys, if you do enjoy this video, or it's not really a video, is it, right? It's more of a live stream, okay? If you do enjoy this live stream, be sure to drop a like. Really does help me out a lot. Subscribe to us over on YouTube if you're not with us already. And let's get into it, guys. And lots of people popping in here today before the stream, so good to see everybody here today. And hopefully the audio sounds good. Let me know if it does. I still don't have headphones. I'm gonna go get another pair this weekend. Now, we have Michael. He's asking, hey man, I've been playing for about 2 months now after a 2-year break. Welcome back to Old School RuneScape. He says, I've been looking for money-making guides, but a lot of them are obsolete now. Been looking forward to learning how to flip. Michael, welcome to the stream today, man. Let me know if you have any questions while we get into it and while we flip. I'll definitely be able to answer them for you, especially if you're at a beginner level. But lucky for you, we just came out with an extremely basic flipping guide in Old School RuneScape. So if you haven't seen that, I would definitely recommend it to you. I'll get it to you at another point in time, but it is on the YouTube channel if you want to go take a look at it. And Derek Garland says, I have 7 bill. What should I flip? Well, first, let me get into my flips, and then we'll get into the rest of the questions, guys. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in today. Drop a like if you do enjoy, and let's get into it. Now, off the bat today, I'm going to go work on those quick items that just buy and sell really, really quickly, okay? And that's going to be the Armadillo Godsword and the Bandos Godsword. We're going to go to those first today, see if we can make a little bit of money off of it, and hopefully we can. Looks like the margin on the Armadillo Godsword is going to be about 33k today, which is actually pretty good for the Armadillo Godsword. Definitely not something to bat an eye at. We'll go ahead and list 7 of those and let them do their thing. Also, on top of that as well, we're going to do the Bandos Godsword before we probably cycle into some more Bandos gear as well. Maybe some Bandos tassets, maybe some chest plates. We'll have to see what's looking good here today. But let me adjust a couple things around here. Okay. And not as good of a margin on the Bandos Godsword. That being said, I do know for a fact that these tend to trade pretty quickly, so I'm going to go ahead and list those as well, only getting 15k on the Bandos Godswords. Let's do the Toxic Blowpipes as well. Let's get those really simple, quick flips out of the way today, and that way we can kind of get the easy stuff done, make that easy profit, and cycle into some more expensive stuff maybe towards the end. Pretty solid margin on the Toxic Blowpipe right now. We're going to go ahead and list a few of those. We're looking at about a 40k margin for every single one that we are able to buy and sell. And after the margin check cost, probably making like 36k per, if you incorporate that in. Unshaven Sup says, hey bro, good video. Thank you, man. Do appreciate that. And I hope you enjoyed it. I mean, I just thought hey, I need to put out a guide on 2-account flipping, and I really appreciate that you came back and gave me that feedback. And what did you think about the editing? Did you think it was any better? Let me know about that. We also have Lewintag popping in here. He says, yo, good to see you, Lewintag. Man, you've been coming to every single stream recently, so I do appreciate that. Anyway, we do have 1.5 billion GP left. Let's go ahead and do some of my favorite items here, the Dragon Claws. We're going to do the Dragon Claws as well as the Bandos Tassets and the Bandos Chest Plates. We'll see if we can get a good margin on all that stuff. The margin on the claws, really not that great today. We've actually been struggling to find a decent margin on these the past couple of live streams, but that being said, we are going to list a few here today because it does look good enough to flip. We'll go ahead and put 6 on the exchange. We'll check the Bandos Tassets. Actually, we'll do the chest plate first. We'll see if we can get at least 50k on the chest plate. It's pretty uncommon these days that you find a 50k margin on the chest plate. It's just one of those items that has become super popular over time, but today it does look like we're actually going to get that, so we're going to go ahead and list 7 of those, and or close to that. Maybe it wasn't exact, but we're going to go ahead and list that, let it do its thing. We'll also get the Bandos Tassets going as well, as promised, and I don't know what we'll do after that. There's still plenty of items we can go ahead and flip, but for now, I'm just trying to get those basic items that I know are relatively easy to flip down into the exchange, just so we can trade them for a little bit of money. Those Bandos Tassets there weren't really making us that much money. I mean, I think we were getting like 15k margin on them, so that's why I only listed 4 of them, because it's just not really that profitable, and I think we can make some more money on something else. So what we're going to do next is the... I was going to do the Armadillo Crossbows, but I feel like that's not the move today. Why don't we do something like the Carol's Leather Top next? And then we have that one slot open for maybe something like the Grazi, something a little more expensive we can try to get our hands on here in the short term. Does look like all of our starter offers are almost filled up here, and those Carol's Leather Tops only have a 6k margin, so we're actually not going to do those today. Vulcan popping in as well. He says, hello. Good to see you, Vulcan. Thank you for tuning in, man. Do appreciate it. And we also have Jay Hefner popping in over on Twitch. He says, what's good? Hope to see some juicy margins today. Hey, I hope so too, man. The goal for today is pretty simple. 2 mil. If we can make it 2 mil profit, I'll be very happy. I think we should be able to do it, but I just want to make sure we get to that 1,650,000,000 GP cash stack. I think I am over 2 bill at this point, or if I'm not 2 bill, I'm very, very close, just because I do have 2 Inquisitor helmets that I'm still hanging on to, so that's like another, what, like 280 mil? Hopefully I'll be able to sell that for 300 mil total, and then we'll basically be at the 2 bill stack. I mean, which is great. But anyway, let's go ahead and sell these Bandos Tassets back to the Grand Exchange here. We'll get them, you know, there wasn't a great margin on that, so my real goal behind selling these Bandos Tassets is, since the margin wasn't that good, we need to get them off our inventory very quickly, just take our profit, make up for that margin check cost, and a little bit of extra profit. That's kind of the way I look at it. But, you know, some people might look at it differently. We'll do the Grazi Rapier today. Now, this could be a big margin check, but the reason I don't think we're going to actually pay that much on the margin check is because these have actually been relatively stable the past couple of days, and usually when an item is stable, the margin is obviously not very big. So, hey, and we have Jordy Baldy giving us a follow over on Twitch. Jordy, I thought you were followed over there, man, but I guess you weren't. So welcome to the team over on Twitch, Jordy. Do appreciate it. And yeah, pretty bad margin on that Grazi. Actually, so bad, I'm not even going to flip that, which is something I would rarely never do on the Grazi. Like, almost every time I check that, I flip it. But that is just so abysmal, I'm not even going to try. And I'm getting a little bit nervous about these claws because they are buying extremely fast. And again, we didn't have an amazing margin on these, so it's not worth something, like, it's not worth our time and our money to invest that much into the flip. So we'll just leave it where it is for now, and we'll let it sit. Horse Detective over on Twitch, good to see you, man. It's been a minute, so thank you for tuning in. He says, had a great morning with Eternal Boots. If it's worth a check, we'll give the Eternal Boots a go here. Also, I do want to do the Primordial Boots and Pegasians, because the past few days I've had a lot of luck with those. You can see, like, if you've tuned into a few streams before, you'll notice that I try to cycle through similar items stream after stream, because I like to find what items are hype. Like, what is good right now? Where are the margins at? And that's why I flip similar items day after day, because I just consistently flip the same things until the margins just aren't good anymore, and then I try to cycle into something else. So it's good that you let me know about the Eternal Boots. We'll give them a shot today. Clearing about 10k on them. Not that crazy, but definitely worth it. And thank you for the follow, Johnny David. Do appreciate that over on Twitch. Thank you guys for watching. We really do appreciate it. If you're watching over on YouTube, be sure to drop a like if you are enjoying. And let's keep it up, guys. We still have 977 million GP to deploy. I meant to flip on 2 accounts today. I really did. I just kind of forgot about it when I was setting up the stream. So, for sure, okay, guys, if you guys tune in on Friday, for sure, do not let me flip on anything less than 1 account. Wait, less than 2 accounts. Don't let me flip on 1 on Friday, okay? So please, 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 because you guys have wanted to see the 2 account flipping live for quite some time, and we have done it a few times in the past, but I keep slacking, okay? So please get on my case about that one. Also, let's do the Dragon Warhammer next. Love flipping the Dragon Warhammer. Usually it's the reason I like it so much is because it is very unique, okay? The Dragon Warhammer is an item needed for PVM. It's similar to the Basilisk Jaw, where it's like one of those best in slot items at a lot of places, and there's only 1 of them in the game, right? There's only 1 Dragon Warhammer. There's really not a good replacement for it besides maybe the Bandos Godsword, but it's just one of those items where it comes into the game one way. There's, like, you know, which is actually not very common. There's very low drop chance. And it's just, I don't know, it's a good stable item that I like to flip. So, anyway. Let's go ahead, and we have 813 mil. I want to get this last flip in, guys, then I promise I'll answer all your questions in the live chat, because you guys are just blowing up the chat today. Thank you, guys. We do appreciate it. And we just turned a profit, so that is also great to see as well. Now, we're going to do the Aram's robe skirts. Can we get a good margin on these today? That is what I'm wondering. And look at those Dragon Claws. This is almost the fastest I've ever sold the Dragon Claws. I mean, I was expecting that to take way longer, considering how fast they were buying at the end there, right? So anyway, we're going to go ahead and list a few of the Aram's robe skirts. I really love flipping Barrows items, as you guys probably know. I even have a whole guide on my channel dedicated to flipping Barrows specifically. It's just, I really love Barrows because it's a great entry item for people who are trying to move into like more expensive items. I think Barrows is like the perfect segue into that. Regardless, though, I could talk about that forever. So let's go ahead and get something else listed. We have so much money on hand. You know, it would be such a shame if we didn't flip something like the Scythe with this much GP on hand, right? We could even go for the Twisted Bow, depending on where it's trading around today. We'll have to see. But anyway, Gemfully, it's good to see you as well. Thank you for tuning in. Michael says, can you do a flipping series where you start with different levels of cash, 1 mil, 10 mil, 50 mil, 100 mil, etc.? Michael, we already have flipping guides for basically all those cash stacks on my channel. We have a 10 mil flipping guide and a 50 mil flipping guide. So I definitely recommend you go check those out. They're on the channel. But anyway, Johnny D says, woo, that's me. Twitch follow too. Thank you, Johnny D. Do appreciate it. And there's a lot of questions coming in. I will get to them, guys. Let me just go ahead and get this flip listed. You know, these live streams are really, like, the goal of them, from my perspective, is to teach you guys how to flip and answer any flipping related questions you may have. So definitely go ahead and ask anything about flipping or money making. I'll be able to walk it through as best I can, answer every question you guys might have about it. And yeah, if you are enjoying, definitely leave a like. It really does help me out a lot. And we'll go ahead and do the Scythe here. That might be too low of a price, but we'll keep an eye on it. Actually, I'm not even going to let it sit that low. We'll bump it up a little bit further. Just because, I don't know, I don't want to, like, the problem with live streaming these larger flips is you don't want things to sit for too long because it's bad content, okay? You want to try to get things trading fast, and I'll be aggressive on the margin to try to hit that goal. Now, we do need to make a little bit of an adjustment here to our, what are these, the Armageddon God Swords. We need to go ahead and sell these back. We've been sitting on, what, a quantity of 6 for about 8 minutes. That definitely warrants a sell back to the exchange. And the Bandos God Swords, similar situation on those. We got 2. The margins probably moved up on those, right? So we can't actually buy anymore. So we'll go ahead and list those back as well. Johnny D says, yo, beyond the flipping, it's also a form of entertainment, like podcasting, man. I love it. Dude, I'm so glad you enjoy it, man. Like, seriously, when people say they enjoy the live streams or they enjoy the videos or the guides, I really appreciate it, so thank you. Relaxing with me says, what's up? Good to see you relaxing with me, man. I know we have that little exchange almost every time you get in here, so good to see you, man. Thank you for tuning in. Is it weird that I can hear what you say in your voice? It's very distinct. Jordy, I actually did change a few of my microphone settings, so does it sound better? Does it sound crystal clear? Am I coming at you live from a podcast studio? Potentially, but maybe not. So maybe the foam makes it a little bit more legit. I don't know. This is a new stream upgrade. So I mean, it was like Christmas, and you know, I was thinking, hey, you know, what can I buy that will help the streaming setup? And I thought, maybe if I get some foam on the walls, it'll make a difference. And the foam's really cheap, so I was like, it's worth a shot. And I don't know if it really worked or not. So. Gemfully says, Corey is seriously amazing. That is my name, so thank you, Gem. I would listen to his RuneScape podcast. You know, I thought about doing a RuneScape podcast. I really don't think the demand is there for it. I think, you know, I love flipping. I love my platform. I like the videos I make on the channel. And, you know, if someone wants to make a RuneScape podcast, I will gladly star in it, but you know, I don't think I'm going to lead the charge on that one. I think that's an opportunity for somebody else. Now, we're going to go ahead and sell these toxic blowpipes back here. See if we can get a decent margin on these. I think we will be able to. What's giving me confidence behind the toxic blowpipe here in this situation, just so I talk through my thoughts, we only bought 6 of them. We couldn't get the last one for about 8 minutes, I think it was, and there was a pretty big margin on the toxic blowpipe, but since we couldn't buy that last one, that gives me confidence that we'll probably be able to sell them for a decent margin here. So anyway, that's just my thoughts on that one. No Dragon Warhammers yet, something to keep an eye on. We are still waiting for one Bandos Chestplate to sell. No Armadillo God Swords off yet either, which is not really concerning. It's just, you know, I wish we did have one sell off. That way we know we are on margin. Now we're currently 158k in profit so far, guys. We're going to see if we can get something else listed here. But first, if you guys do enjoy this live stream, please leave a like. It really does help me out a lot. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. I'm always bringing flipping content and flipping live streams to the channel for you guys to enjoy. So hopefully you do enjoy it. And by the way, if you're not with us in our Discord group, be sure to join us with the link in the description below. We have a Discord dedicated to flipping and money making in old school RuneScape, and we'd love to have you there. So we're gonna get the Amulet of Torture up next. Oh, I thought I selected the wrong item there for a second. We're going to try to trade these back and forth. I did trade these yesterday, actually, for basically an abysmal margin, and it looks like it's going to be the same case today. I mean, we're barely clearing 10k on these. Actually, we aren't even clearing 10k on these. That's how bad they are. So we're going to try to just flip 3 of them really quick and get out of that flip. Also, we have the Bandos Chestplate selling off super, super nice. And in place of that, we're going to do the Dragon Hunter Lance. I think I really do like flipping the Dragon Hunter items. I think they're super, like, for how good the margins are on them, they trade really, really fast. So, honestly, a lot of opportunity on the Dragon Hunter Lance and the Dragon Hunter Crossbow. But, of course, you can always lose money on them as well, so just keep that in mind. But I really like them as items. I think they're really solid choices for people. If you're, like, going up to, like, a 300, 400 mil cash stack, you can start flipping these. But I would only flip 1 at a time with that cash stack. We'll go ahead and list the full limit of them, which is going to be 8 every 4 hours. We're going to list 7 because we did lose 1 quantity to the margin check, and we'll let that do its thing. We'll also turn around and sell these Amulets of Torture back, and we'll just let that sell. It should sell pretty quickly. Johnny D says, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty surreal to me to type something and get a reaction / shout out in real time. It's personal and beautiful, man. I want to stream eventually too. It's sweet. I mean, yeah, I started streaming pretty long time ago. I think the first stream I did was, you know, maybe late 2017, early 2018, but yeah, I've had a blast with it ever since. It's just really fun to talk to the same group of people and share like a common interest with someone else. And when the chat gets hype, it hypes me up, and it's just like this energy shared across the internet, which I think is pretty cool. But that sounded really lame, but that's why I like it. I mean, it is what it is. We have Ice-T popping in. He says, hey, good to see you, Ice-T. Thank you for tuning in, man. Your viewership, Ice-T, has been off the charts recently, so I do appreciate that, and thanks for tuning in. And Gemfully as well, saying maybe. Gem, don't worry. The Twitch upgrades are coming. I know. I've been neglecting the Twitch audience a little bit, okay? I know you guys want emotes. I know you want all the chat stuff. It's coming. Don't you worry. I'm putting a little bit more effort into it than I would have liked. I'm just having trouble getting the right chat emotes. I mean, it's not something I really want to spend money on, so I have to think about how I want to do it. You know, I would be glad to pay for nice emotes for the Twitch chat and for the YouTube chat. Like, it's not, money really isn't the issue. It's more that I don't want to put the money into it until I have stuff that I like, or ideas that I like, because, you know, I could switch out the badges at any moment. So just something to keep my mind around. But anyway, we've got a couple flips here today that need some adjustments here. So we are up 321k so far. So I do want to try to secure some of these profits here, as we've got a couple items that are just kind of sitting and doing nothing. Have these Eternal Boots gone up a lot in price recently? I'm almost positive Eternal Boots were trading for like sub 2.5 mil very recently. So that's a little bit concerning. But anyway, I could be wrong on that. I think that is the case though. We'll go ahead and sell these Aram's robe skirts back as well. It should be a decent margin on these, actually. Hope for the best. Pascal Chenard says, my GF's a graphic designer. Just let me know if you're interested in getting emotes. I might have to hit you up on that. Do appreciate it. We also have Jordy saying that little dino badge is cute AF on her channel. Yeah, it's great. Hey, Gem's got good emotes. I'm no doubt about that. Relax It With Me says, just wanted to let you know how much I appreciate your streams. Started out with like 30 mil, and now my bank value is up almost 400 mil. Yo, can we get some hype in the chat for that? Congrats to you, Relax With Me. I'm glad you enjoy the content. I mean, if you learn how to flip from my streams and then you go off and make a ton of money, like flipping or money making, whatever you do, then I'm super happy. I mean, that to me feels like my goal has succeeded. So I appreciate that. And thanks for reporting back and letting me know, because that means I'm doing something right. So clap, clap. Says Pascal. It's funny, man. Anyway, I'm going to try to knock down the margin on these Armadyl God Swords a little bit. And we just finished up on those Lances, I believe, as well. So good looks all around so far. Decent profits coming in so far as well. Very happy about that. Let's go ahead and sell these Dragon Hunter Lances back onto the Grand Exchange. We weren't getting a massive margin on these. Not going to lie. I was hoping for a little bit better, but if we can sell these without too much issue, then I'll be like decently happy with the situation that we're in. What I'm not happy about is these Dragon Warhammers, because we haven't sold one of them off yet, which doesn't give me a lot of confidence that we are around the correct margin. And if we're not, that's going to be a little bit of a sad situation, just because we have so much GP invested into that, and I'd hate to go back and sell it for a loss. Obviously, no one likes to do that, right? So let's go ahead and try to get the Dexterous Prayer Scroll flipped as well. Now, I'm actually not going to do a margin check on this. I'm actually going to eyeball where I think it's probably trading around, and we'll just let it sit for a little bit and see if I can actually flip one. Also, we still don't have a scythe yet, so that's kind of a problem. We'll go ahead and list an offer for the scythe here. Pretty aggressive offer. It's pretty high price compared to where I think it's trading. I think we could get in at a cheaper price, but my goal when I'm flipping a really high value item is the first flip is like, I might lose money on it, but my goal is to try to find out where the item is trading around. If I lose a little bit of money on the first trade, it's not a big deal. For example, if I instant buy a very expensive item by accident, I'll just turn around and list it for like 50k less and take a 50k loss to find out where that item is trading around. Then I'll cycle back into that item and use the same sell price, but try to guess where the buy price might be around, where I think the margin maybe is, and then use that margin over and over again to make up for the loss, and obviously makes a profit on top of that, right? You saw my Sang flips, Sierra? Yes, Ice-T, I did see those flips, man. Super, super good flip, dude. Beat Fabrica says, again, didn't catch the start, but you're here early. No worries, man. Brawlers. Oh, Brawlers, thank you for the margin on that, man. I'm listed a little bit higher than that, but I'm just going to let it sit. I think it will fluctuate in our favor if I had to take a guess. Let's go ahead, and we have 586 mil, which is a significant amount of GP to go ahead and work with here today. I'm thinking of an item that we can put it all into, and a great item that we can start with is the Ancestral stuff. We'll try and find the margin on the row bottom here. Usually when you pay for the margin on the Ancestral row bottom, it is quite an expensive activity. So or a really expensive activity in some cases. Well, that, it does scare me a little bit that it costs that much to check that margin. Not something I would recommend, obviously. But when I'm on live stream, I almost always manually check things just because it shows the process of flipping, and I think that it's very important. But normally for an Ancestral row bottom, I don't think I would manually check this most of the time. I would use GE Tracker, try to get a good price listing off there, and try to flip it from that situation. But since we're on live stream, we might as well check everything, right, boys? It is what it is. We'll do the Ancestral Hat as well. Now, the Ancestral Hat's a little bit different. I would price check these just because they're not that expensive to begin with, so I think they're worth a price check. But let's go ahead and get that in. Decent margin on those as well. We'll go ahead and list I would say we'll do like close to a limit on those. And we've got the Aram's Robe Skirts off as well. Good profit on that. We flipped 7 Aram's Robe Skirts. This is why I love Barrows, okay? I was talking about this earlier. This is why I love Barrows. 164k on 7 Aram's Robe Skirts. And I didn't even try that hard to chase the margin. Once it stopped buying, I was like, okay, I'll just sell it. Like, come on. Does it get any better than that? Like, seriously. I mean, these things, what? They were like 1.2 mil each. That's a super good item. That's why I love Barrows. The limits are higher. The margins are great most of the time. Super solid item. We've got a trade coming in from Sliced Artillery here. We'll give that a look here. Sliced Artery, not Artillery. And it is some vials of water coming in from Sliced. We do appreciate it, man. We'll take that to the stack. And, dude, I wonder how many we have. I mean, I think we hit 24 mil vials over the weekend, actually. Yeah, can you see that? 24 million vials of water, 100% viewer-donated vials. So thank you guys so much for that. That's just like kind of a meme collection we've had over the years. So we do appreciate the additions to that. Mike LaPanda. Oh, good to see you, Mike. He says the Dragonfire ward could be good, but it screwed me over when it went down a mil in price after a couple of seconds. A mil in price after a couple seconds. You know, I do like the Dragonfire ward, but it is an item that is, in my opinion, way better overnight. That thing just has crazy price swings, and you don't want to be holding them when they price swing in the wrong direction, right? So I think listing them low and letting them sit overnight is my preferred strategy on them. Although they are an active flip that I've done a few times, so they do work, but they're not amazing. I mean, they are. Okay, that was not the right way to say it. They are extremely profitable, but they are risky. I think that's the best way to put it. We're gonna go ahead and do the Dragonfire Shield here. See if we can get a decent margin on these. These do look like they're recovering in price slightly. I mean, these things were like sub 3.2 mil a couple months back. Now they're at like almost 3. They're almost at 3.5 mil, very close to that. So it's actually good to see that. A little bit of life back into some of those smaller items. Very happy about that. Just because the Dragonfire Shield is so susceptible to botting. It's, you know, it's not the most susceptible item, but if you think about, you know, any kind of like PVM bot, I mean, they're buying extremely quickly. It's not a great sign on that. Interesting market today. Very interesting market. It might have been better if we did not margin check that ancestral piece, but it is what it is. We're going to try to make the profit back here from that. And luckily, we do have an ancestral hat. I think we're going to clear up this additional slot on the scythe because the scythe is not flipping. It would be good to get on this. Actually, we're actually going to try to get back on this. I changed my mind. We'll just list it for a little bit higher. I really don't want to lose money on this scythe though, because we're already in a rough situation on the ancestral row bottoms. It's kind of looking like that. You know, I wouldn't be as concerned if we had one by now, but we'll give it a small price bump. And if we still can't get one, then maybe we'll be in a little bit of a tough spot on those, but it is what it is. We're going to make the best of it today, guys. We always do, man. We always do. We find a way. Anyway. Jordy says, when you clear up some GP, can you try flipping the Ellie? The price covers, but it will help keep the margins. The price covers will help keep the margins safe. We can try to flip an Ellie. I mean, I don't really, you know, Jordy, I don't really want to flip an Ellie because they're so expensive right now that I don't want to be holding one during a downturn. But, you know, we can try flipping one. I mean, it's going to be a little bit sketchy, but I'm down for it. I just want to make some safe profit first, and then we'll give it a shot. You know, a couple easy scythe trades would be absolutely critical in actually getting to a point where I'm like, hey, we're actually, you know, we can take the risk and try to flip one of those Elysians. But anyway. Did I hear water better be Poland Spring? Gem, when's the sponsorship coming? Seriously. And look at that. We did get the Dexterous, so we didn't pay for a margin check on this, and I do believe we should be able to actually sell it off for a decent profit. If you're wondering how I guessed where that margin was, it's just because I flipped the Dexterous a lot, and I know from the RuneLite like price listing where the item's probably trading in regard to it. You know, I really like flipping a Dexterous Prayer Scroll because it has decent price swings and it's not that expensive. But this is one of those items that you do not want to hold long term. You know, I've been a proponent for this of this for a long time. You know, I've been saying this since the thing was like 70 mil in price, and the Dexterous Prayer Scroll, just like the Arcane Prayer Scroll, will keep going down in price as the game continues on, because more people are going to do raids, and more people, meaning there's going to be more supply, and more people are going to get rigor for their account, so they're not going to need to buy a Dexterous Prayer Scroll again. This kind of creates that oversupply. And you know, for example, this thing went under, the Dexterous went under 18 mil, or it went to under 19 mil, excuse me, and then shot back up to 20 mil. Now it's going to go back down to like 17, 16 mil. Then it's going to shoot up to 18 mil. It happens so consistently. Like, honestly, just go look at the price graphs and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It's unbelievable. There's actually no item that trends like this in the entire game, but the Dexterous is one of them. I think it's like someone buys in when it gets super low and then realizes that it's not going to go in their favor. I think that's what happens like every single time. Pagations are solid right now. We'll try to give it a look here in a minute. Jordy says, is that Dex sub 20 mil? Yes, it is. The Dexterous, dude, the Dexterous went very, very cheap in price recently. But anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in today. Oh, Ice-T says, yeah, that's me, LOL. I bought like 20 to 40. Okay, Ice-T, any item but the Dexterous, then you can go for it. But the Dexterous is not an item you want long-term, I'm telling you. You know, I want to say, like, I'm a long-term short on the Dexterous because I have been. I mean, I've been saying don't buy this item long-term for literally over a year. Like, probably almost 2 years. Anyway, I keep forgetting it's 2021. Happy 2021, everybody. I forgot. It's a whole new year. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in today. If you are enjoying the stream, please drop a like. It really does help me out a lot. Today has been so awful on the exchange. I mean, we can't get any profit coming in at all. Like, look at all this. It's just terrible. But anyway, I think we do have a lot of money on hand, so maybe we should adjust some things around here. It's like, look how long these, we should have actually lowered these Armadyl God Swords a bit more. Anyway, super tough situation right now. We paid a lot on the margin check for the Ancestral Robe Bottom, which is unfortunate, but it's not a big deal. We'll go back in and we'll try to find some big margins here. We'll try to get in on them. I don't know if we'll succeed or not, but hey, in my opinion, it's definitely worth a shot. But we still have a lot of GP on hand, which is not great. Anyway, we'll go ahead and list it back onto the exchange here. We'll knock up the price on these Ancestral Hats here a little bit. And a little bit of difficulty today finding where margins are trading around, but we'll do our best. Snack Food OSRS popping in. He says, hi. Good to see you, Snack Food. We have Jay Hefner coming in with the frog emoji and the flower. I know exactly what he's referencing. Good to see you, Jay Hefner. But you've been in here, so shout out to you. When I get to 77, I'm definitely getting that, although it might be sub 10 mil. It likely will be, Jordy. You just wait long enough, it's coming sub 10 mil, guaranteed. Add you to the group chat. Thank you, Snack Food. Do appreciate it. And, I'm freaking starving today, boys. Anyway, we need to go ahead and let's try to sell this Ancestral Hat that we do have on hand here. I would like to get one off, try to clear that out of our inventory, and then try to get in. These have been sitting for 16 minutes. I didn't even notice. Anyway, so my prediction on the, sorry, I'm all over the place. My prediction on the Blowpipes was a little bit off. I thought we would be able to sell them without too much of a problem. Does look like that was not the case, and we've been sitting on them for way too long. Dragon Warhammer as well, really not performing for us here today. We're still in a profitable range on the Dragon Warhammers, but unfortunately, we will have to take that down in price again. I mean, look at this. Look at this profit. I mean, 32 minutes in, 358k in profit. It is a tough day on the exchange. We just got to try to keep cycling some items, try to find something good, and we'll try to get past it, man. Angel says, I corped for 4 hours today with 0 drops and about 2 mil profit total. This is why I just flip instead. Punishment for leaving the GE. Hey, Angel, I mean, I'm getting punished right now here on the Grand Exchange, man. I can't get anything moving, but we're going to try to find those good items, man. You still owe me 500 mil. I can take some of that cash if it's bothering you. Ice-T, man, anytime, dude. It's yours. Jason Mills says, Dragonfire Shield, lowest sell, 3,471,000. Interesting. Okay. Let's see. Check out the expensive seeds, always good margins. Louise, good to see you, man. Thank you for tuning in today. I do like flipping the seeds. Now, there's kind of a pro and the con to the seeds, okay? The pro on the seeds is you're right. The margins are pretty good. The limit is actually fairly high as well, 200 seeds. I'm assuming you're talking about things like magic seeds, Torstal seeds, things like that, right? Ranar seeds too, you can put them in there. So I do like the seed flips, especially for, you know, 50, 100 mil cash stack seeds, super, super good. Now, that being said, there is a couple things I don't love about the seeds. And look at that, we got the Dexterous off as well. Super, super nice. You know, I find the seeds pretty competitive, in my opinion, more so than other items. That's not really the main reason I don't like them, though. The main reason I don't like the seeds is because they're just like... Why do I really not like the seeds? I mean, they're okay. The limit is okay on the seeds, but if the limit was 1,000, then I feel like the seeds would be a lot better of a flip. Because sometimes, like, I'll list a bunch of seeds, like 200 seeds, try to flip them, and then, like, I'm trying to get, you know, the 750 to 1k margin on them that I found, but I end up selling them for, like, a lot less. I don't find the demand is really there on them, just my opinion. Everyone has different experience on the Grand Exchange. Like, the items that I recommend are incredibly different than some other items that people flip and stuff like that, so it's just always different. Arcane Sigil split, 16 mil? Whew. Yo, where's my cut of that, you know? Pro tip, if you are sitting on any variation of a Blowpipe or Serpentine Helm, you can always price check the scales and break the items down if profitable. That is true, Jordy. That is actually a really good tip that I usually don't use. Would make for a good video. Matt Quinn says, what's up? Good to see you, Matt. It is time for you to try the decanting the Sarah Brews. Unbeatable says, webcam. Wow, Unbeatable, man. I haven't seen you in a long time. Good to see you, man. Thank you for tuning in. Do appreciate it. And anyway, we do have all these flips listed here. Not a ton of luck here so far, honestly. If anything, we've had really bad luck, but I am hoping to get some good stuff here. So we haven't sold the Ancestral Hats back yet. We will lower these a little bit and try to secure a lower margin on the hats. And if we can get something decent on those, like, we're still in a pretty good profit range here at this margin we're currently at. It's not amazing. I would like to get a little bit better, but it is what it is, okay? We're struggling today. We'll take any of the profit we can get. Let's go ahead and try to get these toxic blowpipes off. We're really struggling for inventory slots right now, and I said I was going to flip on 2 accounts today, and then totally forgot, and I don't feel like setting up the other one, so we're 100% make me do it on Friday, okay? We're going to do it on Friday. We're going to have a fun drinking stream, just like last Friday, and we're going to flip on 2 accounts. But anyway, we have these Armadyl God Swords still not selling. You know, it is what it is on those, I guess. The margin was looking really good to begin with on them, and now we're not really looking at anything, I bet, which is kind of sad, but it is what it is, and we have one last Dragonfire Shield that needs to get off. We'll knock that down as well. My main goal right now is to take profit where we can and clear up some inventory slots or Grand Exchange slots, because we really need to get some other stuff moving here to actually turn this into a profitable session. We're going to go big on the Primordial Boots next. Love flipping Primordial Boots, one of my favorites, just because the limit on them is another item that's a 15 limit, right? And it's just a solid item all around. I usually don't have too much trouble flipping these, although since we are struggling today, I'm only going to list 5 at a time. Also, we're going to knock the Dragon Warhammers down even more. Again, we'll still be profitable on them, but now we're basically break even after the margin check on that. So it's a little bit sad that we couldn't get them off for the original margin. We also have the Ancestral Robe Bottoms not working out for us. Kind of unfortunate on those as well. We'll go ahead and get a few of them listed back in, but probably not for a great margin, unfortunately. We will try to hunt at least a little bit of profit off of it, though, and we'll try to take that to the bank. We still have 914 mil left. Let's do the Pegasian Boots next as well. We'll try to get a good margin on those, and if we can, we'll be in a good situation, and if we can't, we'll be in the same situation, so it doesn't really matter. We might as well give it a little bit of a risk here, and it looks decent on those. I mean, nothing crazy, but we'll go ahead and list a few back onto the exchange, and again, we're just going to do 5 of them for now, try to flip a few of them. If it goes well, I'll list a few more back. Johnny D says, woo, drinking stream, should have a cigar too. I mean, that would be super cool, but I probably won't. But Gemfully says, oh boy, drinking stream, Among Us, Among Us. Gem, I'm waiting for you. Yo, give me the invite to the Among Us stream. I'm 100% there. You already know I'm there. Anyway. I see hiding prices so people won't undercut you. Unbeatable, that is the goal of the price hiding. Varied success on that. Let's see. Hangover watch. Anyway, good to see everybody here today. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Wednesday stream. Be sure to drop a like if you're watching over on YouTube and you do enjoy it. If you're watching on Twitch, be be sure to give us a follow. We'd appreciate that as well. And if you have any questions about what to flip with your cash stack or anything related to flipping or money making, honestly, in old school RuneScape, be sure to let me know. I'd love to answer your questions. As you can see, this is a awful day on the Grand Exchange. Literally, this is the worst day I've had is in 2021 so far. I mean, we can't get anything moving. And things we do get moving are either for like not really a loss, but I mean for basically break even, no profit. And I mean we paid such a huge margin check on those ancestral road bottoms, and we still haven't bought any yet, which is also a big loss as well. And we're significantly over our buy price right now. So you know, that's just one of those situations where we got unlucky. I didn't expect the margin to be as big as it was, but if I wanted to play it safe, I shouldn't have done a manual margin check on it, right? Obviously. But you know what? I'll pay the price to my stack. That way you don't have to. But, you know, a little bit of pessimism, I guess I would say, here so far, but we're going to do our best to turn it around, guys. We always do our best to try to make a profitable session, and we're going to do our best to continue to make profit here. So, we're going to go ahead and check the Dragon Hunter Crossbow. Now, this thing has also been sort of a funky item. It's gone on some pretty crazy price movements here recently, which makes, yep, look at that, really big margin on it. Would not recommend price checking that, 100%, just because it costs a lot of money. So, we'll see if we can get a few of those. We're back down to a 300k profit off that margin check alone. So, I'm really hoping we can get a good trade on that one. Now, if you guys do wonder why I manually margin check items, I like to do stuff manually on stream so you can see the process behind it. And on top of that, unless it's a really expensive item, I'm too lazy to pull up GE Tracker and try to take a price guess. Because usually if you're guessing at where the price is, the item is going to take a little bit longer to buy. And I'm not going to make you guys sit here and watch no item movement, okay? That's just not cool. LOL, you price checked me. Win tag. Well, hey, enjoy the free profit, man. But I'm coming in for your margin, all right? Hey, no hate. I'm just saying. What do you think of Justiciar items, says Jason Mills. Sorry, I missed your comment, Jason. Justiciar is really great to flip. I love flipping Justiciar. It's kind of an advanced item, but you can do it with smaller cash stacks, which is nice, but only if you have flipping experience, okay? Because the problem is, if you flip Justiciar and you don't have a lot of experience, and you think, oh, maybe it's a good item because it's cheap, you'll probably get burned. And I'm saying, like, if you have 100 mil and you want to do Justiciar and you don't have experience, it can be risky. But if you're an experienced player, 100 mil, you can flip Justiciar. It's just going to be risky, so keep that in mind. But I do like Justiciar because it trades very slowly, but the margins are always solid. And even on days where the markets are bad, you can still get like 50 to 75k on Justiciar helmets, Justiciar legs, which is honestly for Justiciar very bad. I mean, usually like I'll trade the helmets for like 150k margins like pretty consistently. Honestly, I'll try them today probably at some point, as long as we can clear up another slot here. So really good item all around though. Do like them. The sets are great too. You know, the individual pieces great. The sets, they're also great. It's really up to you what you'd like to flip. Individual pieces are going to make you more profit in the end, in my opinion, just because the limits are higher and there's more items to flip, right? More quantity. But the Justiciar sets trade a bit quicker and more consistently. Oh, okay. Well, hey, get off the margin, boys. Okay, I want it. I'm in for it now, okay? Move out of the way. Just kidding. But, hey, I mean, I didn't mean to. If I undercut your items, I apologize. But that's the thing. The Grand Exchange is not a place to make friends, okay? I'm here to make my profits. I hope you guys make profits too, obviously. But, you can't really see who you're trading to, so, like, you know, it is what it is, right? You have to think of yourself over everybody else when it comes to flipping. Otherwise, you won't really be profitable. Anyway, let's go ahead and do the Armadillo Crossbow. Really hoping for the best on this one, just because we really need a solid item to pull through today. Only 323k in profit so far. Like, what is going on, guys? It's a crazy day today. I mean, a lot of you probably have never seen me do this horribly on the exchange, and I'm even a little bit embarrassed to be live showing you guys this much profit this far into the stream. So we really are hoping for something good today. But that's the Grand Exchange in a nutshell. I mean, you're gonna have really good days some days, and other days it's gonna be really, really bad. I mean, 285k in profit, like right now, that's pretty bad. should try an Anguish. Just had 110k margin on them. I haven't done the Anguish yet, actually, so we might have to do those in a minute. All I heard there was, Jordy says, all I heard there was your profits aren't as important to me as my profits, so F you and your margin that I'm undercutting. I mean, that is basically, I mean, in a nutshell, that is true. Because, I mean, flipping is not a community game, right? It's not a community event. We're not PVMing. We're not in the same team. I'm on my own team, and I need to make my own profits, so I'm going to try to do it before anyone else does. As cutthroat as that sounds, that's really what you're trying to do. And we definitely got price checked on the Dragon Hunter Crossbow again, because we don't have another one here. This is going to be, the situation on this one's going to be funky. I'm actually going to let it sit for a little bit longer, because I do think we're going to be in a good spot on that. We're all here to make money, so yeah, says Brawlers. Yeah, I mean, it's no hate. Like, no hate at you guys if you're flipping the same items, but, like, at the end of the day, I gotta get my bag, you gotta get yours. So, if we cross paths, you know, it's a fight to the death. I mean, if anything, I'm at a disadvantage, right? Because you can see what I'm flipping, but it is what it is. We couldn't have the stream without it, so, I mean, we're just gonna have to keep it that way. Louise says, flip Dragon Metal slices. Louise, I don't really want to flip them because I don't like flipping PVM drops. Like, there are specific ones that I do like, right? But things like, you don't want to flip the Elysian Sigil or the Arcane Sigil, in my opinion, just because they're so infrequently traded that it's so tough to find the margins on those things. You know, you could list too low and it never buy, or you could list too high, buy one, and then have trouble selling it. And I've done them I tried to do them a long time ago, like super long ago, maybe like 2017. And then after I flipped it once and I couldn't figure it out, I really never did it again. I was like, there's better items in this that I can probably flip. And sure enough, there is. So maybe, well, maybe not today, but in general, yes, there is. And just my 2 cents on the situation, though, if you could find profit on it, hey, the more to you. But it's not an item that I'm going to try to hunt down, as I don't think it's a great trade. And we instantly, wow, okay, we instantly sold that Dexterous Prayer Scroll for more than I thought, so that's awesome. Very happy about that. Might go back in on those, actually. As much as I would like to flip some other stuff, I mean, if we could buy this price point and sell those back for the same price, well, they did instantly sell, though, so we'll have to keep a close eye there. These Ancestral Row Bottoms really giving us a run for our money today. We cannot get a good margin on that, right? So we'll actually cycle back in for even higher. I'm that desperate to try to get one of these flipped, just because we paid a significant amount for that margin. So I would hate for it to go to waste and not be able to get it off. Also, pretty happy that the Primordial Boots are going as well. Pegasian Boots, not as much, unfortunately. We did get 1 pair, so that's at least good enough to try to make a little bit of profit on it. And we'll see. I mean, we're basically going to be break even on that. But, I mean, 508k, we haven't had anything so far. I'm still looking for that last item, right? That last sweet item that's going to make me a good amount of money today, because there's always that one item, you know? Every time you flip, you cycle through a lot of stuff, there's always one item that's going to make you some profit. But anyway, what do you think about using an alt to maximize more spaces? Louise, we just made a video on that today, actually. We have a 2-account flipping guide that just went out on my channel, so be sure to check that out if you're interested in flipping on 2 accounts. Obviously, I think it's a great situation. Most of the time, I only flip on 1 account when I'm on live stream, and the reason that really is because, I don't know, it's just easier to manage 1 account and talk with you guys if I only have to flip on 1 account. When I get to 2, it gets a little bit iffy at times, but this Friday, we'll definitely stream on 2. I was gonna do it today, honestly, I just forgot to, but regardless, you know, these Dragon Warhammers just, the problem is, it's not that the margins are really bad, it's that we can't trade anything. And when you can't move items on the Grand Exchange and things are very stale, then you're obviously not getting any profit, right? Because 1, you're not buying and selling anything, so how are you going to get profit? And 2, your money is locked up in these items. So, like, for example, I've got 7 Dragon Warhammers, right? That's running me 268 million GP. That's 268 mil that is sitting there in an item that I cannot access until this sells. So it's like the opportunity cost of almost holding gold versus holding an item. And I always want gold in my inventory, right? I always want to try to trade these things and get them off not as quick as I can. You obviously want to make a good margin on it, but I mean, like today I'm trying to trade things quick because we can't move anything. And it's just a funky day. It's like an off day almost. I mean, like 508k, 49 minutes in, like clearly I'm having a tough time. I mean, this is crazy. Makro says, I just started flipping for the first time a week ago. I made 55 million GP. And he says, and I joined your Discord yesterday. I like it. Makro, dude, I'm so glad, man. Thank you. And welcome to the Discord group, man. I think a lot of people love that Discord group as well. So thanks for joining. I mean, if anyone else wants to join, we'd love to have you as well. So I found out for me that D'hide sets and D'hide boots are pretty good for like a 20 mil bank. You know, I do like the Dragonhide boots, but I don't really ever find myself like with too much crazy profit on them. I do find them a little bit difficult to trade, but overnight windows, really good for those as well. Rave Mike, good to see you, Rave Mike. He says, how do you feel about using 4 to 5 slots to buy and 3 to 4 slots to sell to make the items move faster? You could totally do that. That's a personal strategy. My personal stance on it is it's better to list more items on, like, it's better to just let an item buy up and then sell it all back, in my opinion, right? Because then you're having 8 items working for you, and most of the time you're going to be able to sell back for a profit. In my experience, like most of the time when I'm flipping, I have like, I mean, it depends on the item, right? But in general, you have like at least a 90% chance to succeed on the flip. And when I say succeed on the flip, I mean at least make a profit, right? You know, a lot of the times maybe the margin's going to crumble on you, but you're still going to make, you know, 10K on it. That's still a win in my book. I mean, as long as you make it out with profit, you're set. So in my eyes, I would just wait for the slots to fill. I like waiting for the slots to fill. You could just sell them back, but I mean, only if the margin is really, really large and you don't think it's going to last should you use another slot to sell an item, in my opinion. Jonathan Boyce says, I think I found you 2 years ago. Appreciate the consistency. Jonathan, man, long time viewer then. Welcome back, man. He says, appreciate the consistency. I try to be as consistent as I can. I mean, I love doing this, but today is a day where things are just so tough. I mean, I hate streaming when it's like this. It's good to show the bad times, but I love streaming when it's hype as well, right? So we're trying to manage a very bad situation here today. And, you know, it's so bad that, like, I'm afraid to margin check things, right? That's how you know things are bad, because I've been margin checking and just not moving things. And that is a significant problem. So we'll just have to wait. I mean, you know, there's a couple things that need to clear up here. I mean, we can't make any money today. I mean, this is so awful. Literally, I can't make anything. Maybe I would have more luck on, you know, overnights or longer frames of time, but like right now, like, it's either there's so much competition or something's up. Like, it's every margin I list is just like non-existent after we actually go to see. Look at that. You see that? What I tell you, just wait on those Dragonfire crossbows. They're gonna work in your favor, because it just seemed like you should be patient on that. I mean, that's a patient play. I wouldn't rush the Dragon Hunter crossbows, but I would rush the lances, in my opinion. JWY says, are bots why prices are tanking? Probably not, to be honest. Really, prices fluctuate all the time. You're never really going to know, you know, why things are going up in price or why things are going down in price. Situations where things will go up in price are when big updates come out. Rev giving us a follow over on Twitch. We do appreciate it, Rev. Thank you so much for tuning in. Glad you're enjoying the live stream. Also, finally, we got a Dragon Hunter crossbow off for a decent margin. Can I get some hype in the chat for that? Like, my God. Oh, we have just been struggling for the past 53 minutes to get anything going. And thank you for the follow, Rave Mike, over on Twitch as well. Welcome, everybody. And no, there's no 24-hour live stream on Saturday, okay? I don't know what this malarkey is, okay? Totally made that. Someone totally made that up. There will be another 24-hour live stream this year in 2021, okay? I can say that, but I don't know when it's going to be yet, okay? So just keep that in mind, okay? But if we do one, I would love for you guys to stop by, obviously. What works for me, says Macro, is I bump the price every 5 minutes on an item. I bump it up 1k extra sometimes. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, I like to play a very passive game because most of the time the items will swing in your favor if you are patient with it. So a lot of the time I don't see any reason to rush your margins. Just be a little bit patient. Like sometimes if something looks really good, just wait it out a little bit. A lot of the time you will actually find yourself succeeding on that item. I try not to rush my trades unless I think something is obviously very time sensitive and I really need to get it off. That's why I've been very patient on these Ancestral Robe Bottoms, right? We paid for a large, we paid a large margin on these Ancestral Robe Bottoms, like over 500k. I didn't think that was very realistic, but I tried to hit it anyway. And ever since then, I've been slowly inching it up, kind of hoping that item crashes a little bit so we can pick it up on the low end. But, you know, I'm hoping, right? So nothing's guaranteed. But we did get, okay, look at this. So we did get 2 Dragon Warhammers off, okay? So we got them off pretty quickly. I'm going to actually go up and raise my price on those Dragon Warhammers again and try to get a little bit more profit off of it. I don't know if it's going to work, but I sure hope it does. And we'll wait on this Pegasian here. Let's go ahead and I really want to do the Bludgeon, but I'm pretty scared to pay a margin check on this, not going to lie. We'll try it. YOLO, right? It's just virtual GP, right? It's just virtual GP. Okay, not a great margin on it, which is good. Very happy about that. You can tell if someone's flipping an item by, like, the flipping signature that some people put on, which I find is kind of funny. So someone's flipping the bludgeons too, but we're going in on that. Yeah, oh, sorry, Jordy, for the Streamlabs giving you a little bit of turbulence there. I do apologize. Brawler says, someone just bought my bludgeon. Uh-oh, it was me. That's the thing is, like, I train all these people up, teach them how to flip, and then, hey, they flip the same items as I do. So, I mean, hey. Not that I'm complaining. I mean, look, my goal is to teach as many players as I can how to flip in old school RuneScape by going through the motions, showing them how it's done. And if I can do that, then, like, hey, my mission is succeed. Like, I'm succeeding in my mission, basically. So, you know, if I get undercut, overcut, it is what it is. I mean, I've been trading long enough on the exchange to know that is a very common occurrence. And while it does suck when you're learning, you know, you kind of get used to it. There's ways around it, too, but anyway. Mike Lepanda says, I'd like to change the prices pretty quickly when I feel like it's slowed down / I've been undercut to get the next item faster. Mike, and that's another strategy completely. I mean, like, I just share my thought process and my strategy. By no means do I think I have the most optimal way or claim to have the most optimal way. I'm just showing what I do, my opinions on things, and I think people really appreciate that. But, like, again, I don't claim to be the best flipper in the game. I'm not like someone who makes crazy trillions of GP, like, flipping every day and day in and day out. But I do feel like I have a solid grip on flipping. I do feel like I've been coaching it for a while. I think I know how to teach people how to flip. And that's what I'm here doing, man. So I know you guys enjoy it, and I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Now, we are at a 1.3 mil profit, which is at least better than where we were before. Still not super happy about it. We're going to wait about 6 minutes on these Warhammers. The Pegasian has still not sold, which is fine. I mean, you know, if we could get at least a little bit of profit on that, I would be happy. But anyway, not going to force it. Michael Apanda says, same, I don't feel like I'm the best or even close because the skill ceiling for flipping is so high. It's basically unlimited. I mean, the more money you have, the more money you have to manage, the harder it gets, but the more profit you can make. That's my opinion on it. And I feel like I've got pretty decent insight into a lot of flipping. Again, don't claim to be the best or anything, but I think I know what I'm doing. Anyway, guys, if you are enjoying the live stream today, please leave a like. It really does help me out a lot. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. I'm always bringing flipping live streams and flipping content to the channel for you guys to enjoy, so hopefully you do enjoy it. We just released a video today, actually, about how to flip on 2 accounts. So if you are interested in learning how to flip on 2 accounts, you can go check out my channel. We've got a complete guide on that came out today. Let me know how that guide is, by the way, guys. Put some effort into it, so I would appreciate it. Anyway, let's go ahead and get some of these flips sold off here. I'm trying to think, like, we still have a lot of money on hand, and you know, I think the Ancestral Row Bottoms are just a pipe dream at this point. So we'll try. Okay, this is gonna be make or break for the stream right here. Oh, we still don't have enough money. Now we do. We're gonna try and do the Elysian, the popularly requested Elysian Spirit Shield. This is sketchy. You know, there's no doubt about it in my head. This is gonna be an interesting one, okay? Because the problem with the Elysian is right now it's so volatile because it's high in price, and on top of that as well, I have no idea where this thing's trading around. You know, GE Tracker tells me some things, RuneLight tells me another thing. I could be sitting on it and it'll never buy, or I could buy for too high, which I really don't want to do. I'm really trying to avoid that. So as much as I want to play it safe in this situation, I just really don't know. Okay. Let's just man up and do it. It didn't instant buy, which is a big deal. Very happy it did not instant buy. Also, we do have another slot open here, so we'll probably put that to work. Go ahead and do the Zami Hasta, maybe. We'll see if we can get a good margin on this thing. Yeah, that looks about good. We'll go ahead and list a few of those. I'm hoping they trade. We don't quite have too much money to go do them. We have enough, though. And we got the Primordials off as well, which is great. Ellie instant buy equals panic. You know, I wouldn't panic, but it would just be, like, not a situation I'd really want to deal with right now, just considering how bad the session's been going. But we still have 36 mil, so you know what we're going to do? We're going to cycle into some super safe stuff. It's going to net us some safe profits, hopefully. Fingers crossed. I mean, today has just been so brutal for the cash stack. I mean, I was like, hey, maybe we can get to freaking 1,650,000,000 today, but we can't even get there. We're not even close. So, I mean, we are pretty close, but again, it's just taking forever. Makro says, I saw your guide on overnight flips, but I don't have that kind of cash. I only have 220 mil. You could still flip overnight with 220 mil. You just have to focus on items that are high volume items. You know, the items you flip overnight don't necessarily have to be really expensive stuff. You can flip sharks, monkfish, anything overnight, really. Just the strategy behind it is a little bit different. Now, we did get the Elysian a little bit faster than I anticipated, which is not a great sign, but it's, you know, I'm not terrified quite yet. So that's important. I'm hoping that we'll be able to sell this. If we sold it there, we'd be in a really good spot. Will we be able to? I don't know. We'll have to see, man. Yikes. I'm pretty nervous for that, but it is what it is. We're in it now. We can't go back. The deed is done, okay? We're in it to win it. All right. Yeah, ornament kits are kind of in a funky one because they're super low volume and people, you know, no one really buys ornament kits outright. In my opinion, they kind of like list it for a price and let it sit on the Grand Exchange. You know, there's not a lot of like price action on those most of the time. So you're seeing really good price swings on the ornament kits. Can be super profitable, but you have to get in at the right time. And in my opinion, it's just so low volume, so random that it almost makes it impossible to get a good profit on it consistently. So that's why I don't love it. But anyway, guys, if you are enjoying the stream, be sure to drop a like. It really does help me out a lot. Also, if you're not with us in our in-game clan chat, we'd love to have you in there as well. You can join us with the clan chat Scapenomics, just like my Twitch name, just like my YouTube name. We'd love to have you in there. And you can join us on Discord as well if you want. There's a link in the description below for that. We teach a lot of money making and flipping in the Discord group, so why not join us? We got a Discord dedicated to flipping and money making in old school RuneScape. Please sell Elysian Spirit Shield, because if you don't, we're going to have some problems. Although, if we did sell it, it'd be kind of awesome. We'll patiently wait for that, and hopefully that'll come through. I mean, we could list it for lower. Like, right now, my offer's pretty greedy. But you know what? We really need a good trade today. So my goal behind this one is I'm going to let it sit for like 6 minutes. And if we can't sell it, I'll lower it just a little bit farther. Saints Van in Van, good to see you, man. He says, if you buy a high volume item overnight and the price the next day is even lower, should you cut your losses or hold on and hope for the price to go back up? In my opinion, here's what I do most of the time. I list it for like, there's two situations. One, if the item has gone down significantly and you think it might fluctuate back, then just sell it like you can either sell it for a slight loss or a slight gain and just let it sit there. Try to get out of your flip with a profit if you can. If not, and you're really nervous, just list it for a little bit under where you bought it. That being said, if you think an item just might keep trending downwards, honestly, there's so many different situations on it. You could sell half of the item and hold the other half if you want to kind of take some of your risk off the table. Another great strategy is just to sell it all. I mean, if you just take the loss and take the L, I mean, I usually do that. If I log on and a flip didn't succeed, it depends on the flip, but like, for example, if I listed Dragon Warhammers overnight and I find the next day they're trading under 100k from where I bought them, you know, I usually just sell them for a loss. I don't think it's worth like waiting to try to get a profit on it, because the item could just keep going down in price instead of recovering. And it's best just to take as little risk as you can, in my opinion. I'm very risk adverse when I do my flipping. I'm not someone who likes to take a lot of risk. And you might think like, oh, well, you're price checking items. Like, obviously that's risky, but yes, you are correct. That is risky, but it's something I'm willing to do on live stream. And I don't think anything on here is going to put me in too bad of a RuneScape financial situation to where I can't get out of it. Right. So anyway, still waiting for that Elysian to come through. That's like the main focus right now. We do have another Dexterous, which we will sell back using this extra slot here. Again, we had a really good margin on that, so I think I'm not going to rush it. I'm going to try to list it for a little bit higher from where we sold the previous one and see if we can actually get that traded. I think that would be really great if we could. Is the kilt considered an overnight flip? Yeah, definitely, man. Anything could be an overnight flip. I mean, it just really depends. Like, you know, there are items I wouldn't flip overnight, and there are items that are really good to flip overnight. I mean, anything high volume, though, you can definitely flip overnight. It's just a completely different situation to how you'd list the price than you would do like an Elysian Spirit Shield or something that's got a really high margin. Chicken Dinner says, just dropping in to say, hey, Scapenomics, I can't stay long, but good luck, have fun. Chicken Dinner, good to see you, man. We've had the worst session of 2021 so far today, like so awful, which is just horrible. But thank you for stopping in and saying hi. I mean, if we can get this Elysian off, we'll be in a good spot. My confidence level, not super high on it. I'm really hoping for it, but again, not super high confidence on it. We are going to knock it down just a little bit. Again, still a profitable range on it. Nothing to be too concerned about. And if we can get it off for that, good. Done deal. Good profit. Solid. Walk away happy. If we can't, I'm going to start to get a little bit nervous. So we're going to let that sit a little bit longer. We'll take our time. I am sweating a little bit in my boots here, okay? It is what it is. Thank you for the detailed answer. Yeah, Saints Fan and Van, like, you know, I like to do the sell half, keep half, but a lot of the times I just dump it as well. It's kind of do like a 50-50 on that. Jordy says, can we get a stream of various different money makers, like 10 minutes of making saplings from tree seeds and 10 minutes of the lunar spells that can make a lot of profit? A stream? Maybe. We could do videos on them. But I just like, I don't know. I feel like they're not moneymakers I utilize that much, so I just, you know, don't really make videos on too many moneymakers. Although, I have made videos in the past about, like, bank standing moneymakers that you could use, which showcase those methods that you can do while flipping, which obviously is going to make you additional GP, but, yeah, they're not really methods I actively use. How do I get a different rank in the Discord? Example, it's just through chat activity. So the more you talk in there, the higher your rank gets. Up to, I think, flipping executive is the highest. Correct me if I'm wrong. And interesting because, oh, look at that. The Dexterous, such a good item for us today, man. 3 of them flipped for 528k profit total. Like, it's really coming through for us today. Very happy about that. Let's go ahead and put the Zamorak Hostas back onto the exchange here. And try to get these going. Please, Elijah, please sell. Please. Please. Oh, man. You know, we might have listed it for too high, I guess. I mean, it did buy pretty quickly, but it's, you know, the Elysian, we have to stop freaking out because these are, Elysian is not a super quick, like, it's not a super frequently traded item. It's pretty low volume. We should stop panicking. We should leave it where it is. We'll probably be good. If we have to leave it off stream, we'll do that as well, but that's not a preference of mine. So, what I'd likely do is I'd maybe give it one more price bump down, let it sit for 5 minutes after that. If it doesn't sell, we'll just leave it off stream. But again, these are dangerous. Like, the Elysian at this price point is dangerous. 1 bill Elysian, you don't want to be holding this thing when it starts coming down, and trust me on that one. Of course, there's a lot of profit to be made in between that. Like, let's say you notice the Elysian is crashing, you want to try to get in and buy one, you know, and trade it back. That's your risk. That's a good way to make money. You know, you can make a lot of money when items are trending upwards or downwards in price. That's where flipping is really powerful, when volatility is extremely high because margins are really large. You can make a lot of profit. But anyway, oh, I didn't see this. Lewinteg, thank you for pointing this out. I did miss this. He says, I don't know if you read this earlier or not, but how do you feel about the Inquisitor set fluctuation? It went from under 600 mil to 670 mil in one day. That's Inquisitor, man. I mean, Inquisitor is a really, you know, it's like a beast of its own. It's scarier than the Elysian or, you know, the Scythe and things like that because it's a lot lower volume and the Inquisitor fluctuates a lot. Keep in mind that it is a relatively new item. I mean, it's like the Inquisitor stuff is only like a year old at this point. As far as I know, it came out in February of 2020, if I remember correctly. I think that's when Nightmare came out. Anyway, is that right, or was it 2019? Regardless, it is a very new item either way, so just keep that in mind. If newer items are usually a lot less volume most of the time. Elysian shields are for the super rich. Isn't it like the best shield for a lot of the game? The best in slot tends to be quite expensive when it's such a low drop rate. Jordy, that is true, but you have to look at the price of the Elysian, right? Because we have this Elysian Spirit Shield here. You don't forget, in the past, the Elysians, you know, they were basically at a bill. Then they crashed down to 600 mil. I think they went sub 600. I think it was like 585 for an Elysian. And now they're back up at the 1 bill value. So these things, they will fluctuate in price. Do I think the Elysian Spirit Shield will be above 1 bill for a long time? No. I think it's a very short-lived situation. I think it will come back down under a bill again very soon. Not very soon, who knows, but I don't think it'll be here long-term at that price, if I had to guess, just from the price history of it, but I could be wrong as well, but that is why I don't love having them on hand. But regardless, we're going to try to flip it. We'll try to make a little bit of money on it today. Just, this has been the worst session in the world today. I mean, God, we can't make everything we have here to nothing moving. Just literally zero movement across all this stuff. You know, we did make money on the Dragon Hunter crossbows, thank goodness, but like besides that, like, so bad. Oh, atrocious. We'll try to get some high volume stuff in the meantime while we wait for this Elysian, but such a bad session today. Vindes, good to see you. Stoof, thank you for popping in, man. He says, hey, yo, my favorite noob is online again. Appreciate that. I am definitely a newbie player. Like, people are like, oh, you must be good at video games because you play all the time. I'm not, actually. I guess I'm decent at flipping. I mean, but am I a great gamer? No, sadly, I'm not. I think it's because I have, like, really fat fingers, man. Like, anyway, it affects my ability. Wasn't there this one stream where you got stuck on negative profit for a while? It usually happens every stream. We did have one stream where we lost, like, a ton of money. It was, like, I don't remember. It was, like, either a 4 mil or a 6 mil loss on the Sangwesti stabs, which was, that was the only stream I've ever ended in a loss. So that's kind of interesting, but that was one. Drink more beer and you'll make more profit. This Friday, Stu, we'll have a beer stream. Don't you worry, man. Could be my memory imagining things, though. Nope, we've lost money before on stream. Yeah, it happens very frequently. Could happen today if we can't get this Elysian off, man. Which is just, I mean, I really want to get it off. Oh, the Dragon Warhammers are selling. Thank goodness. I knew if we just waited a little bit longer on those, we'd be in a good situation. Sorry if it sounds like I'm complaining about this session. I'm really not. I'm just, like, upset that we haven't made more profit today, to be quite honest. We will give, you know, I want to be patient with this Elysian. I don't know if I should be patient or if I should lower it, because it does seem like we bought it for a decently high price considering how quickly it bought. We didn't instant buy it, which is great, but it didn't take that long to buy. I don't know if I'm just being impatient, but it's been about 15 minutes and we haven't got this off yet, so something to keep in mind. Michael Panda says, hey, it was still enjoyable, though. It makes it more real if you don't always gain a lot every stream. Oh, yeah, I'm not complaining about the stream or anything. I mean, I love doing this stuff. It's just like when you're, you know, when you have, like, so many great days back-to-back on the Grand Exchange, and then you have a day where it's just, like, 0 profits, you're just like, the world is ending. You just feel so bad. But it's all good. It's all good. Trust me, if anyone understands that flipping is not a consistent game, it's definitely me. You know, you have, like, you go back a couple streams, we have an 8 mil stream in an hour. You come to this stream, we barely are going to make the 2 mil mark. We might not even make the 2 mil mark. I don't even know. You know, like, it's just been a wild day here. Let's do the, there's got to be something easy I'm missing. Like, there's got to be some easy flip I haven't done yet. We'll do the Zulrah scales. Can't mess up on those. You really can't. Weird, I had a good flipping session earlier, says Rave Mike. And that's, dude, that I'm telling you, man, it's like, sometimes, like, an hour difference makes the biggest thing in the world. Like, if we did, you know, what really hurt us is that margin check on the Ancestral Row bottom, especially because we weren't able to trade any after that. That really hurt us. You know, these Pagations aren't really hurting us that much because we only have one and the margin wasn't that large on it, so I could really care less about that. But still, though, like, you know, it's not great. But the Dragon Warhammers, we'll take that. We're almost at that 2 mil profit. I'm really hoping for it. I really want this Elysian to sell off. We'll have to see, though. Q Levy says, really shows how flipping can be sometimes too. Yeah, man, we go through the hard times, we go through the good times. It is what it is. I mean, I'm sure there's things I could have done on this session to make more profit, but hey, I'm just, you know, I'm just casually flipping. You know, we make money when we make money, and if we don't, we don't. I mean, that it really is, it's that simple. I mean, of course I want to showcase, like, good profits for you guys. Like, what streamer would not want to do that, right? But if we don't, then, you know, we don't. I mean, it's all about the journey. Miss Hyatt says, nice hat. Thank you. I do appreciate that. Are you surprised it hasn't fallen off my head? Like, it's, for some reason, it stays on really well. So thank you for the hat compliment. It's a little outdated. It's looking a little bit rough. It's kind of beaten up on the edges, but it is what it is. If you don't want to keep the Ellie, you could always donate it or alk it. I'd be happy to take it off your hands. I think we'll let the Grand Exchange do its work on that one. Thank you for the offer, though. The Zami Spear and Hasta were bank earlier. Still pretty decent margins on it. They stopped buying, though. Looks like we have a little bit of competition on it, so we'll probably just cycle out of that. We'll basically cancel everything else besides these Pagations and the Elysian. I will wrap up the session here pretty soon. I mean, today was tough. I didn't want to keep trying. I think any more effort is just going to put us in a worse situation. I'm going to let the Elysian sit for like 5 minutes, and if we can't get it off, we can't get it off, and we'll just leave it there. And you know, I'll try to keep the Discord updated to see if it sells or not, but I'm really hungry. I worked all day, and then we had the stream, so I really have to eat something. So we have to wrap it up, as though, although I do, like, I'm hoping I can make a little bit of profit on something else. I'm not going to force it. Although, we do have a couple minutes, so let's go ahead and list some easy stuff. Sharks, some really high volume stuff, just to try to make a little bit of that profit back. Maybe take us over the 2 mil edge before the end here. Looks like it's going to be decent on sharks too, so we'll definitely take that. Get a few of those in there. Let me think of, we can do like blood runes too. Literally, I'll do all the stuff I preach about. All the high volume stuff. Blood runes, death runes, law runes, nature runes, air orbs, literally anything that's going to give us a little bit of GP today. We're definitely going to take. And you know what? People say high volume is bad, but high volume, like if you have a large cash stack, high volume flips are the perfect way to hedge against margin checks. And not only margin checks, but like bad profit situations, I guess. By now, I thought the hat was already part of you, says Michael Panda. It can't get off. Dude, I can literally, like, shake my head and, like, tilt my head back, and it just won't fall off, man. Macro says, when is the bot dump time estimated at? Because I'm in Holland, and the time zone is different for me. There's really not any specific time that bot dumps happen. Bot dumps just kind of happen when they happen. I mean, you know, that video in the past from Third Age Films, I believe it was, or Soup, got a lot of hype about like bot dump flipping, but bot dump flipping is not really a thing. The reason why prices fluctuate that much overnight is because there's not as many people online overnight, so there's the demand and the supply is not there. So when there's less demand and supply, or just both of those are lower, lower volume, how about that? That's a better way to put it. If there's lower volume, the margins are going to be bigger because there's less trades confirming the margins. Margins stretch out a bit. That's how it works. But anyway, so it's not really a thing because bots obviously would dump items at different times. If they dumped them all at the same time, they'd make less money, so it wouldn't make much sense. Queen Saraha says, better than I did. Market was not good for me today. Queen, we've been struggling badly today, like so bad. Like all my consistent items, just like zero profit today. And we paid a massive margin check on the Ancestral Row Bottoms, I believe it was, and we could not flip them once, which was terrible. But anyway. Bot dumping is fake. Bot dumping is a real thing, but bot dump, like, and yes, technically you could bot dump flip, but it's not like it happens every night, overnight at the same time. That's not what it is. Like, you will see bots dump items, and like, or it's someone just mass dumping a supply of an item, but, you know, it's not really like bot dumps are a consistent thing. Most of the time, bots just liquidate items onto the Grand Exchange pretty slowly, because if they do it slowly, then they can actually make more money off of it. Because, for example, if you had like 500,000 mahogany planks and you sold them instantly, like, you would just fill up the whole entire Grand Exchange supply. You would be selling some for like 1 GP at that point. So, you know, it would just make this massive influx. You'd have this huge supply and then this huge, like, shoot up of demand as people realize the price is so low, right? So, anyway, I'm not going to rant about it anymore, but just my 2 cents on it. Man, it would be really satisfying to hit the 2 mil mark, like, and get this Elysian off, but the Elysian is going to have to sit for a while if I had to guess. I have to keep a close eye on that, because if I let it sit too long after I log off, I'm going to forget about it, and then we're not going to make any money on it, and we'll probably lose money on it, so something to keep in mind. Although, if we can get it off before the end of the stream, that would be amazing, although it's not looking likely. Yeah, we'll just let the shark sit here for a minute, and then we'll probably wrap it up here. I don't really want to lower this again price-wise, but I might. We're still in good profit here, which is good. Like, we're still in profit by a good amount, but not as much as I would have liked on an Elysian. I mean, like, today's session was really, really bad profit-wise, and I would hate to end it with a massive Elysian Spirit Shield loss, right? So we will take this down a little bit, and not for a loss, but for definitely a smaller gain than I would have liked. Regardless, though, as long as we break even on the Elysian, fine. But I'm going to leave it there. It was like 50k less from where I had it listed previously. Still looking at about a 500k profit on the Elysian at this price point, which hopefully should swing in our favor over the next 30 minutes or so. It should. I mean, I'd be surprised if it didn't. You know, these items swing a lot in price. I mean, you could see on the RuneLite price tracker, or maybe you couldn't. It was listed for 1,041,000 earlier. So, or 1,041,000,000. Wait, no. Hold on. Where was this thing? 1,040,000,000. Yeah, 1,040,000,000 earlier. Now it's like 3 mil lower than that. So, anyway, we'll see. These items fluctuate a lot. It is what it is. Anyway, guys, if you did enjoy this one, be sure to drop a like. It really does help me out a lot. We're going to wrap it up here today at the 1.93 million GP mark with the Elysian in the Grand Exchange. Today was so rough. We'll hope on Friday we can get some better margins, boys. And, you know, I'm not disappointed. I'd like to showcase the the bad times, but this was definitely a bad time. That is for sure. So, anyway, if you want to join us on Discord, be sure to join us with the link in the description below. We'd love to have you in there. We have a flipping Discord dedicated to flipping and money making in old school RuneScape. We basically only cover old school there, so just keep that in mind. But if you do flip in RuneScape 3, we'd love to have you as well. Or if you're trying to learn old school, we'd love to have you there as well. Anyway, enough of that. Thank you guys for tuning in today, and I'll see you guys on Friday for the drinking stream, so please tune in for that one. It's a lot of fun. I think a lot of people like that, so we'll keep that up. And thank you guys for tuning in. Really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.